Yeah, you know what it is. Welcome to the best coast. Yo, it's Bronze Age nerd with that collecting elite. Big B McFly, steady bringing the vintage heat. Pull up a seat, we diving in the stacks. Silver to the bronze, got the knowledge on tap. From Kirby's Kings to the mutants, wow. We breaking it down in that laid-back style. So grab your snacks, let the panels unfold. This is comic book chilling with the stories we told. Comic book vibes, we flipping them pages. Legends and lore from all the ages. Golden to the modern, we talk that news. With Big B McFly and the nerd cut loose. Yo, you tune into that Bronze Age flow. Where comics live and legends grow. Big B McFly in the cut, let's fly. Best coast, baby, comics are what saved me. Big, yeah.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Best Coast Comics. I'm one of your hosts, Christopher, aka the Bronze Age Nerd. I'm joined, as usual, by
Patrick Swayze.
Are you here as a ghost or as a corporeal being?
Both.
Nice, perfect.
Big B McFly, the comic guy.
Nice. And we actually have a special guest this week. So this week we're doing an X-Men fantasy draft. So we're going to draft our own X-Men teams. So we had to bring in an expert, the Council of X's own Ryan, aka the Colossus Collector. Welcome to the show, Ryan.
Thank you very much. I prefer enthusiasts. Experts just comes with so much more expectation.
Wait, are we representing and Ryan's not?
I'm not.
Hey, I mean, you know, when you're living it every day, every once in a while you got to wash that shirt, right?
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, Ryan, before we say hello to the chat and everything, some people may not be familiar with you. I do have a link to Ryan's channel in the description below. If you could go give it a like and a follow, that would be great. Subscribe up to him, as well as Big B McFly's channel, my channel, and the EXP, where we're also streaming. We'd appreciate that. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and where people why people might want to watch your content, that kind of stuff?
Sure. So I am just another comic YouTuber, but I have a channel, the Colossus Collector, here on YouTube. I do a mix of video content and then live streaming, just kind of documenting my journey through this collecting hobby, showing off what I collect, and a lot of other different comic related content, and also live streams with my group of friends and fellow X-Men enthusiasts and collectors, and that's called the Council of X. And we get together and geek out on X-Men, have lots of fun talking about that. And then I also have a show called Colossus Spotlight on whatever the episode is about, and that is literally the purpose of just being able to talk about anything and everything comic book related, and have different guests on. And that's I've only had about 3 or 4 episodes of that, so that's just got off the ground this year. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice.
If you like comics, if you like X-Men, good to go on my channel. And but it's more than just X-Men. I'll just point that out too.
And I mean, so Colossus Collector, I imagine it's pretty obvious. Your favorite X-Men is Nightcrawler, right?
Of course, Kurt Wagner.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. No,
you know,
so yeah, I think we all might
German
know.
roots on my father's side. It was I had to go with the name Colossus Collector.
We all have to figure out who Ryan might be taking first round at the 101, because by the way, I'll give everybody a little teaser here. I did do a random draft order picker, so it's just got 3 teams, obviously. Ryan, this is fitting, he's our guest. He came in first, so he's going to get the first pick. Big B's going to get the second pick, and I'll be batting cleanup at the end. So I'll get
you get to go 2 and then go back.
I actually need to ask you guys that, because there's no, I can just set it however I want. So whether or not we want to do a snake or a traditional, or I guess to me, snake is traditional. That's up to you guys or the chat or whatever we want to leave it up to. Chat, while we're saying hello to everybody, we have one important question for you that we were trying to figure out before the show. Does Professor X deserve to be drafted as a like X-Men fantasy team member, or is he more of like a founder, traditional, too powerful kind of character to leave off the field? My argument is I don't think he's really a field X-Men very often, but hey, if you folks think he should be in there, we'll let him in. Let us know what you
Member
think.
or man in the chair?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man in the chair is a really good way to put it. He's the bald man in the chair with a plan. But we do need to say hello to the chat because these folks have been in here waiting for us to say our hellos. First comment, Richard Westfall coming in first. He stopped slacking off. He's here first every time now. We appreciate it, Richard. And he thinks he might be first on every single channel. He thinks it's a triple crown. That is impressive, Richard, to go through all three channels. GTK Comic doesn't even know what to do with himself getting a silver medal. Coming in with the bronze medal, though, is going to be Comic Tropes. What's up, Comic Tropes?
The all-important bronze medal.
Yeah, the all-important. It's very important around here. We really like that bronze medal. Probably the only one that could be better would be like an adamantium medal, but I don't even know what that would be. That would be like best comment of the night, I guess. Best there is at what they do comment. And then we have Otaku's in the house. What's up, Otaku? Yes, X-Men Geeks Unite for sure. John's Comics with Kids in the house. Good evening. Thanks for
Fellow council member.
Yep, exactly. We'll shout them out as they pop in. Got Awesome Sauce in the house. What is up, Awesome Sauce? How you doing? And Hydra Asylum. We'll say hello and highlight your comments as we kind of go through the show. You draft Poop and Pee. Well, Comic Tropes. They're probably not going to be popular picks, so that might be a good one.
Is that a spelling error on dupe or
no? I think that's him being a troll.
That's right. That's
but
just
dupe,
troll.
That would be good. That'd be good.
Yeah.
So before we get into the fantasy draft, which we are going to get into here pretty quick, I do want to take a second. We're going to talk about a big announcement we have. So every year we do something called Heroes for Heroes, where we raise money for Mission 22. Mission 22 is a foundation that helps veterans with their mental health and their families as well. It's a great organization based out of Oregon. They've been doing it for a lot of years. They're very well respected. And it's a way that myself and a lot of other members in the community have decided to give back is by focusing our efforts on doing a fundraiser called Heroes for Heroes for veterans. And we're changing things up for 2025. We've traditionally done it around Veterans Day or pretty close to Veterans Day. It's a pretty crowded time of year with a lot of other comic fundraisers going on right before that. Christmas is right around the corner, so people are usually thinking about their budgets for Christmas. So we're actually switching it to kind of an early summer event, and it's going to be June 28th this year. So kind of just right around the corner. Accordingly, we're making the goal a little bit smaller. We've kind of decided that that's probably the best thing to do. So I am happy to announce that we've officially got the portal up for people to donate. And we'll kind of show you that real fast here. This is the official portal through Mission 22's website. So we're officially partnered up with them for that. And I'm going to go ahead and paste that link into chat so everybody can go check it out. And Big B is actually, I think he should announce this. We were working behind the scenes. You know, Big B was the primary one here, obviously, as he'll say in a second. Can you tell us a little bit about how we started off this year, Big B?
I filled out some paperwork, and my employer donates to veterans causes every year, and so they donated $2,000 to the cause. So
I'll see if I can zoom in on that a little bit. So there's, I kind of tried to zoom in on that. So we made our goal because we're shortening our time span by about 5 months or whatever. So we realized we're not gonna have as much time to get donations. We're not gonna have as much time to get items to auction off, that kind of stuff. So we realized it's probably smart to lower the goal. But thanks to Big B and his employer and his hard work and their generosity, we're already 40% of the way to the goal there. So that's really awesome. And that's a huge donation. That's amazing.
yeah, I'm super happy.
that just means you get to blow way past the goal, right?
Right,
That would be
right.
great. Yeah, that and I'm totally cool with that. If we can, last year we did 8,550, and if we could blow past that, that's the real goal in my head. I think it's probably a little unrealistic, but I'm always hoping, because it's all for charity here. So folks, kind of real fast, I want to take this opportunity to kind of just say two things. The first is, if you're familiar with this campaign we do, Heroes for Heroes, and you've supported it, thank you. It's already up. You can share this link out. There's a typo in the body. They kind of changed their website around. There's an email address contact for me that they kind of messed up. It's pretty obvious because it has 2 @ symbols in it, so it's not going to work. But they'll fix that pretty soon. But you can share this out, start getting them out there for donations. And if anybody out there wants to donate items to be part of the auction that we can auction off on that big day, or if you know creators, celebrities, anybody you think that might be willing to get involved that can help raise awareness about the cause, definitely let us know about that as well. You can always email me. It's thebronzeagenerd@gmail.com. And you can get in touch with me that way. You can get my shipping information if you want to send those items in. We can give you donation receipts for your donations, so you can put it on your taxes, all that fun stuff. And if you donate money through the site, that they give you a tax receipt as well too. So if you're worried about any of that kind of stuff, of course you should be rewarded for your hard work. Comic Tropes, I bet you we could auction off a kiss with Comic Tropes on the big day if you want. I would advise against it, but I mean, if you want to do it,
Hugs and kisses.
Hugs and kisses. There you go. Anyways, we're excited about that. So we'll talk more about that. We'll kind of check in every week between now and the event to kind of raise awareness. But as exciting as that is, and by the way, just congratulations to Big B for getting that accomplished. That's a huge accomplishment. I appreciate it.
Thank you, but we all do important things. You do a lot of stuff behind the scenes that people will never see. So
yeah, hopefully we'll all kind of become more aware of it as time goes on. That's my goal, Can I fly? I mean, maybe. I wouldn't advise it unless you're really sure you can. What's the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Try to run and jump at the ground and miss. That's my advice.
Right.
But the reason we're here tonight is we'll get right into it. I think here is we're doing an X-Men fantasy draft. So the idea here is that we're going to put together some teams of X-Men, and we've selected pretty much every former and current X-Men we can think of, more or less. And we'll have some flexibility there if you guys think of somebody throughout the draft. And we're going to basically take turns picking a team. We're going to select 8 members each, kind of talk through our selection process. Maybe somebody's trying to build the most powerful team. Maybe somebody's trying to build just their favorite characters. We'll hopefully hear a little bit about that as the night goes on, and we kind of draft some X-Men. But it's time to draft some X-Men, so let's get that loaded up here. Hopefully this one will work. Honestly, I didn't have time to pull enough images for it, so it probably won't work for the entire draft, but I'll back them up over onto the text copy. This is our draft board here. I've got little trading cards for most of the popular characters down there, but as soon as you guys go to some deep cut picks, guess what? I didn't have time to find those images, so we'll have to manually put those in. But Ryan, you are a guest. You are a guest of honor, and you get to choose first. So who would you like to take at the 101 position?
Well, there's so much talent available with the first overall pick.
True.
But I don't know if I could sleep at night if I didn't give that honor to my namesake, Piotr Rasputin, aka Colossus. That is my first pick, and
right.
I don't regret it.
Absolutely a worthy pick, sir. I'd be stunned if you chose anybody else.
Well, I was thinking strategically. I'm like, well, he could fall to me in the second round. But no, I want to give him the honor of the first pick.
You would be crushed if he didn't fall to you, though.
Yeah. I don't know if I could look him in the face after that.
He would, he would never, he just would disown you forever. He's a very loyal guy.
And he's like everywhere in this room. So my home life would really take a hit.
Otaku wants to know if bad guys count. So here's what I did. I basically just went to the wiki page for every X-Men member, and I copied them all down. I made a couple, in my opinion, intelligent tweaks where it was like, they mean, they say this character, but really that's 2 versions of a character. So I split them up. And I have that whole list here. I shared it with the guys earlier, and so we can kind of all pick from that. Honestly, I'd be amazed if we get more than halfway down the list, because it kind of goes by more or less chronological appearance. But hey, you never know. Maybe they got some deep cuts in mind. So some bad guys have turned good. Examples that have become X-Men, and I'm sure, Ataki, you probably know as good as anybody, but for everybody else, Juggernaut, Emma Frost, Sabretooth have all been members at different points. So, characters like that will appear, Mimic, a few others.
Hydrosylum said who his first pick would be.
Oh, his first pick would be Sydney Sweeney. Well, if your first pick would be Sydney Sweeney, that means we have to do this.
Their own show.
Yeah.
I mean, I can I take my first pick back?
Nope, they're written in stone. We're very serious about this for some reason.
I didn't know Sydney Sweeney was available. Gosh.
Yeah. To be fair,
she is a trope on our show. Well, I'll make John's Comics with Kids really happy, and I'll take Storm as the first pick for my team.
Storm? You want Storm on your team? Wow. Just kidding.
I could take Cyclops, but that would be a dick move. So.
Bold of you to assume that Cyclops would be the first character off the board for me. So what's the logic behind the Storm pick? I mean, I think she's pretty self-evident, but hey, we may as well talk it out for the content.
Omega level mutant. She's a great team leader. She actually beat Cyclops in combat for the leadership of the team when she didn't even have her powers.
True.
I mean, even if I was being an honest person here, if I was drafting with my brain and not my heart and my affinity for Colossus, Storm would be just a perfect first pick for me. For all the reasons Big B just mentioned.
I mean, yeah, and I'm kind of trying to go with like a great team leader as well. I mean, so
yeah, that's a good solid choice. I like the logic there. Shout out to a couple people. Kamikaze's in the chat. What's up, Kamikaze?
What's
up? Triple B in the house. What's up? How's it going? He would have chose Longshot and Domino. Get the luck powers sorted out. That makes sense. Right. I can definitely respect that.
Shout out my fellow Canadian Kamikaze.
Yep.
Whatnot shows on Tuesday nights. He's the best.
Can confirm. Ozzy's legit. Definitely give him a follow. And even if you just like checking out cool comic books, he's always posting good stuff. Yeah. So make sure to follow him on like Instagram and stuff, for example. Henry, what's up? Would have selected Wolverine. That's a very popular pick. I'm sure Wolverine's going to be early off the board. X-Punisher. So Magneto is your second superhero and favorite X-Men. I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say that your favorite superhero is Superman. No, it's probably Punisher. Okay. All right.
Well, X-Punisher. X-Punisher. I mean, he could be an X-Man, right?
Yeah, could be. So I think I'm hemming and hawing here. I didn't know who was going to fall to me, but I'm not necessarily.
You gotta.
No, I'm not. But to try to build like a powerful team, try to get some of those powerful characters.
Wow.
I'm going to go Jean Grey.
Well, you got the Snake. You could have taken Cyclops and Jean Grey.
Well, that's the thing. We didn't technically decide that. Are we doing a Snake?
No, we did. We said that was traditional draft. So if you want, you can take Cyclops first.
Ghost Rider
as your team leader. I mean, we know that's your dude.
Yeah, that is my dude. And
what a powerhouse couple, right?
I mean, that's the real trick here. Is I do realize now that I have two Cyclopses on my draft board, which is pretty funny.
I saw that. I was like, hey, there's Cyclops 1 and Cyclops 2.
That's hilarious.
Picture, I guess.
It's accidental.
No, I'm gonna on purpose.
I'll have to go with Cyclops just for the duo there. Maybe not the person I would have picked just out of pure power kind of a thing, but Hey, he's obviously a great team leader, and they'll work well together.
Absolutely.
All right, Big B, back to you.
And by the way, Jean Grey would have been probably my second pick. So,
sorry to steal from me. Maybe we can talk trades later.
It's all good. It's all good. Well, I'm gonna go with my other girl, Rogue.
That's who I was thinking about picking. Good pick there.
You got the super strength, the flight, the ability to take anybody's power, multiple powers at the same time.
Definitely.
Pretty awesome.
Definitely. Good choice. Kind of a Jill of all trades, if you will.
Yep.
All right. Ryan, back to you.
You don't have to take these guys either, pictures either. We have that whole list.
No, it's just easier to pick from. I should have the list handy. And during when it's not my picks, but I know who I'm going for. I was hoping you guys wouldn't take him, and he's available. So I'm going to be taking the Master of Magnetism.
Ooh,
there you go, strong
Magneto. Because one, Omega level mutant,
definitely
wise beyond his years. He also would be very problematic for Colossus if he went up against him.
Right.
Now he can actually use Colossus as a projectile.
Exactly.
Which I really like. I like the combo there.
The Magnet special.
They got history. He's a former acolyte as well. So I like the synergy, the teamwork that could come out of this matchup. For
Magneto healed him when he was paralyzed too, right? So
no, it's a great follow-up to Colossus. Now my third pick as we snake. Let me just
Mr. Irrelevant's gonna be Jubilee.
It's definitely not gonna be Jubilee.
And hey, Brandon.
Anybody knows me well.
I thought you were gonna go Colossus and then Juggernaut.
No, I love Juggy, but I think that's a pair that I think has some friction based on history, and I also just think they kind of cancel each other out. They're sort of two of the same types, and I'm looking to get like a real balance with my team. And so since you already took Jean Grey, I think I'm gonna take Kid Omega.
Kid Omega. Okay,
there we go.
So that'll be
not Professor Xavier.
not Professor Xavier. Yeah, exactly.
We've reached our senior citizen limit on the Colossus. So I'm gonna balance out the age with the youthful exuberance and also Omega level telepath powers with Kid Omega.
For sure. Okay, so to avoid having to switch tabs, because like I said, that's one of the pictures I didn't load in, I'm going to put Professor X in your team just for now, and I'll try to work on getting that image switched out.
Fair enough.
But he'll be a placeholder because, bald telepath, mostly bald telepath, right?
I'll remember.
So.
Right.
All right, nice pick.
Sticking with the theme of super powerful hot chick team. I'm gonna go with another Omega level telepath who's also invulnerable. I'll take Emma Frost, the White Queen.
Absolutely. That would have been my pick if she was still on the board. But it was kind of weird to double up with Jean Grey, but man, can't argue with that, right?
Brian likes the ladies. And there ain't nothing wrong with that because that's a hell of a team so far.
No, you're right, Henry. Juggernaut is not a mutant, but we're doing X-Men. So we at one point we debated doing all mutants. That was kind of a food for thought, but the list wouldn't be terribly different. I thought it was kind of more interesting to just make it all the former X-Men and all the current ones too, obviously.
Well, you guys could do what we did with the council, which was we did an X-Men draft and then we did a brotherhood / villain.
Yeah, that's cool.
So you can
Right.
split it up a little bit.
Brian wants every clone of Jean.
Well, if I would have let, Bronze could have then taken White Queen and then maybe Goblin Queen too, so he could have, Cyclops in his harem.
God, and they get Psylocke after that. Yeah, sure.
You could say like his mind is like catnip to the telepaths, right? Well, you got to get Professor Xavier
Yeah.
too, right?
Well, that's we all know he was super into Scott, obviously.
Scotty's Angels.
Erased his memory many times.
This is a tough one. There's several directions I can go here, but I know I get 2 picks. It feels right to take another original team member here. And I may as well get 2 Omegas while I'm at it. So I'm going to take Iceman with my 3rd pick. I love that I have 3/5 of the original team there. And I love that 2 Omegas, can't argue with that. Obviously, they work well together. So that's pretty tempting, and I'm gonna do it. Here's where it gets difficult though, and I'm really that Wolverine card is right there, and we all know if you want your comic book to sell, Wolverine's got to be in it, right?
Get him or Deadpool, right?
Yeah,
Him
it's
and
true.
Deadpool.
Yep. This is tough. This is genuinely tough. I also like to make sure I get the strong dude on my team, so that Juggernaut pick looks pretty interesting too. I'm just kind of talking it out, but yeah, you can't leave Wolverine on the board that long. I think so. I'll go Wolverine.
Team there, buddy. That's pretty awesome team.
That would have been my next pick. I would have taken Wolvie just so I could have the fastball special and 2 projectiles.
Yeah,
Magneto controls, but yeah,
that would be good.
This is welcome to fantasy, baby. You don't get your guys all the time.
Right? You could be flinging metal men all over the place. Well,
no.
you can grab Cable or something, another metal guy to throw around.
Yeah,
he's got a metal arm.
Maybe his arm flies off. I don't know if that's
So Scarlet Witch, as far as I'm aware, was never on the X-Men. Maybe I'm incorrect about that, but so she's not on the list. And then the cards are not the only option, which is why Professor X up there is Quentin Quire. I have another board where I'm putting in the picks just with text, and we'll switch over to that if we get to the very deep cuts. I couldn't find the way this website works is you have to have an image to put up there, and I couldn't find images for all the characters quick enough, which is my fault. I'm sorry about that. But we'll be able to switch over to something else if this.
I like the cards though. It's
cool.
They're easier to recognize.
Yeah.
When I did it, I had to source all the shots.
Yeah.
But I just did little like headshots and stuff, and it was kind of hard to see.
For sure.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm gonna have to break my pattern. Go with the dude, but I don't know. I might have to do that.
Dudes. Oh.
Yeah,
okay. You can pick a dude.
I'm gonna go with Vulcan.
Nice
Vulcan, okay.
They're a mega level mutant.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm gonna do for your placeholders, I'm gonna put that second Cyclops card on there accidentally.
All right.
And
I'll try to get you some pictures while we're in between for other people.
Yeah, so I keep talking, and I should be focusing on that.
You got it. I got you covered.
Well, I already found a Quentin Quire. I just have to take it down to update it in a second.
Okay,
nice pick, though.
I got a Kid Omega, but if you got one already, I will then find a Vulcan.
Perfect. So what makes you so drawn to Vulcan? Because he's kind of a bit of a loose cannon. Would you really think he's going to do well on your team?
Yeah, the ladies will keep him in line.
The ladies will keep him in line. Okay.
He is one of the more powerful mutants, and they kind of go for a powerhouse team. So
okay, right on. I like it.
All right. I got my next 2 picks ready to go. So I'm going off the board again with Namor the Submariner.
Woohoo! Fire.
Absolute powerhouse. A little bit of flight, super strength, just and then all the the submariner ocean abilities. Really like him as a pick. He's also one of my favorite characters, so that helps. And
chat comic tropes.
so that card's not on. I don't know. We could just kind of like maybe keep
Yeah,
if you want.
I'll work on that one too.
No worries.
It'll be easy to find at least.
My next pick will be I'm all about family, and Colossus needs to be united with his family, so I'm gonna pick Magic Ileana Rasputin.
Nice choice.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
Very powerful character. She's got a card down here.
Yeah.
There we go. Strife is a excellent character, Wonkington, but not ever an X-Men. Yeah, these teams, I mean, like if you get to pick from all, there's some fire for sure.
Vulcan fire. Huh?
By the way, shout out to Awesome Sauce for making sure we all remember Stacy X exists. Appreciate that. She is on my list, by the way. She's on the longer list. Just so you know. If we get to Stacy X, I don't even know what I'll do.
I
Guarantee you should never had a card.
I sent you an image for Vulcan in the chat there.
Perfect.
All right. So, and who was the other character we needed to grab?
Namor, who I grabbed already.
Namor. You already got Namor. Okay.
Yeah.
All righty then.
Yeah, so that's actually, this came up in the chat earlier, and I really would love to hear everybody's opinion on this. This is a good question for the council, and I mean we're getting asked by a councilman up here.
When we open this bag of cats, then like everybody's next.
That I agree. I was just gonna say the same thing. Like, the
because I mean, so when they start the Krakoa era, they specifically form an X-Men team.
Yeah, and it that whole era just bleeds lines so
that's
much
true.
that I think you might as well just make it every character at that point.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to be real rude and remove this for 1 second so I can add those new characters on it real fast.
Okay, you got it.
Okay, so you guys can still
give me a second to think.
Yeah.
Right. Think. All right. All right, that's gone. That's gone. I had kind of a little list going here. Oh, you just took Magic though. Darn it. She was on the list. I mean, and I have kind of like a list of like, what does a team need? Like you need speed, flight, fighting, stealth, telepath, tank. I'm like kind of checking things off here.
No comic tropes, no semen. Nope.
That is one of the most popular spelling errors on the keyboard because the damn C and X are right next to each other. I can't tell you how many times I've typed in that instead of X-Men and had to go back and change things.
Oh, dude, shout out to Hydra Asylum. Yeah, I had a Bishop image pulled, but I didn't make it on the list. Thanks for that. Beast still on the board. That's a good point. And then yes, Lockheed is an option. Technically, I have no problem with that.
Definitely an X-Man for sure.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm gonna have to go with like popularity because like I guess some popularity going on there too. But I think I'm gonna go with as one of my combat expert Revanche Psylocke. Go back to Hot Chick Team.
So specifically, when you say revenge, do you mean Quanon or do you mean?
I mean the one that's right next to Juggernaut. That one.
Okay.
Ninja Psylocke.
Ninja Psylocke.
Yeah.
Good choice. Vulcan is going to be. I can't even imagine the one-liner.
I'll keep him in line. He's not going to be unruly.
Oh, I just mean he's gonna have. He's gonna have some eye candy around him. Let's put it that way. I'll put it diplomatically.
He'll be able to do whatever he wants because nobody will be able to pay attention to.
Ozzy, yes, Santa Claus in Marvel is a mutant, however, not an X-Man.
But a mutant. for sure.
Yeah, Omega level for. I mean, 100%. We all know that. Oh boy, chat. Oh, chat. Okay, hey, real fast. I think I got everybody's list correct now with the correct images. So we'll recap. Colossus has, surprisingly enough, Colossus, Magneto, Quentin Quire, Namor, and Magic. Big B has Storm, Rogue, Emma Frost / White Queen, whatever you want to call her these days, Vulcan, and Psylocke, which I specifically the Betsy Braddock, but I mean, hey, whatever. And then I've got Jean Grey, Cyclops, Iceman, and Wolverine. Ooh, that's tough.
Got a good team there, buddy. Like you got a very recognizable brand name team. That's for sure.
I feel like I have to follow. So I respect a classic team lineup that has to have a super strong character on it. So I feel like the best player on the board left for that's going to be Juggernaut. I've never really loved Juggernaut on an X-Men team, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's currently on the X-Men team. Right?
Yeah,
I haven't read the storyline, but I guess there was a storyline where Banshee had like the Ghost Rider powers, and as his vehicle or as his ride, he summoned the Juggernaut.
he's not.
I think I've heard that too. I've never seen it though.
He's not Ghost Rider from. He's one of the spirits of
a spirit of vengeance. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not vengeance, but it's a spirit of. Oh boy, I forget what he is, but he's in the same pantheon or whatever as Ghost Riders, but
right.
He's like the blue flamey guy, but same difference. Ooh, yeah, Morph's a good call. Yeah, Morph isn't on the list, but definitely should be. But I mean, technically, Changeling is on our list, which kind of technically is Morph. But
yeah, they're kind of the same.
Morph, Changeling, Mimic.
Yeah,
there's a lot of shapeshifters available.
Yeah, there's a lot of shapeshifters still available. There's a lot of them on the board.
Is Mimic's not? Mimic isn't a shapeshifter though, is he? He's he just.
I mean,
he takes other powers, right? Like
right.
Morph and Mystique are changed.
Yeah. True. Although he does,
I think actually Mimic's better than those guys because he can actually
he takes their power.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And he does kind of physically shape.
That was a question in they showed Morph in the X-Men 97 cartoon using people's powers, and they were like,
yeah,
wait, you use people's powers?
I wasn't sure about that either.
Well, so they explained that though in the original cartoon, Sinister messes with Morph.
Oh, okay.
He takes him prisoner near the end of that. I think it's near the end of that series, I want to say. And he's doing like some, think like Sinister / Dark Beast kind of style experimentation on him.
Yeah, that's actually right off the bat, right? Because like the first episode, Morph gets kidnapped or disappears, and then he's gone forever, and then
he comes back
with Sinister.
Yeah. No one's taken Hope yet. She's still technically is on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Although actually, I guess technically she's not on the board, but she is on our independent board.
She's available to come off.
She's available. Yeah. This is really hard to grab this next character here. I feel like I've got a bunch of really established characters, so I don't mind going for something a little more obscure or a little bit less well known. And I think they're extremely powerful character. I also only have one woman on my team so far. I'm like, okay, probably could get another woman on there. So I'm gonna take Rasputin the Fourth.
That was on my list. There you go. Good pick.
Kind of a bit like Mimic in a way, has a lot of extremely powerful character abilities.
She was like a hodgepodge put together by Mr. Sinister, right?
Yeah.
She's got Colossus's power. She's got magic sword.
Not a fan.
She can phase like Kitty Pryde.
Yeah, she's an interesting character, but she's probably one of the newest characters that would be viable to take. So I feel like she doesn't have much of a backstory, but I'm literally just going for. At some points in the later Krakoa stuff, she was almost like 1Ving the entire team she'd have to fight. So I feel like she can stand on her own pretty well.
Yeah.
And that's the interesting thing, Comic Tropes, is we're kind of all building little bit different strategies here. Like I'm trying to build a team that I think is going to work in a comic book. That's my strategy. And I'm sort of picking characters I like and sort of picking characters I think have a lot of power to them, but also just characters I think would really work in a comic book. And that's kind of what I was hoping everybody could kind of talk through the picks, because I'm curious, are you picking just your favorites? Or are you picking really powerful characters? There's no wrong answer. But
both.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that. I'm kind of in the both camp. Like I'm building a powerful, strong team with an eclectic range of power sets that
Yeah.
can,
I mean,
so that my team can handle any kind of challenge. But I'm also obviously have grabbed a bunch of my favorite characters as well, which has worked out nicely.
Right, and who's to say like these would be the same characters we would draft the next time through either, right? I mean,
it all depends on what comes up, right? So
right.
Yeah, like there's like 5 characters I can pick on the board that I'd be super happy with right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at I was telling Colossus, I was like, with only 3 guys drafting, we're going to be kid in a candy store with a lot of these.
Yeah.
It's like trying to figure out what's going to be the best fit.
And next time, maybe we'll do this with like Avengers, or maybe we'll do this with like other character, Justice League or something like that, and we'll try to get some more guests too to kind of make it maybe a little more challenging to try to grab some of those like key characters. But we're gonna have some great teams. Like already, these are all powerhouse teams. Like, and I'm literally thinking this like one of these is gonna be blue team, one of these is gonna be gold team, and one of these will be like red team or whatever. And man, X-Men will be unstoppable.
I'm gonna take Hope Summers.
Hope Summers, nice. Okay. So I don't have a Hope card.
That would have been one of my next picks.
Good pick there.
Bigby's
I was kind of thinking about grabbing her too.
Open is the lone sausage on my team.
Bigby's hogging all the ladies that I like.
He does that.
Yeah. I just hog all the ladies.
Who doesn't want to, All right. So is it on
back
me?
to you? Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
and I'm gonna make it confusing by removing the board for just 1 second, if that's okay with you.
Yeah. No, please do.
I'll give him a minute to think. Now he can go. He can go check the list on.
On our chat.
There she is.
The other thing to think about is do you take them now or do you try and wait on them? If you have some ideas, right?
Right. There's like some sleeper picks. And you're like, well, they might last. But
Richard says, if I ever get kidnapped, please send Big Me's team to rescue me. I don't believe Proteus was ever an X-Men, Wonkington. I definitely could be corrected on some of these things.
Him. He was he's Moira's son, right?
Yeah. You wouldn't want to face my team if you had Proteus on it, because Colossus kills him.
I didn't even think about that. Tropes is right that Old Man Logan and Logan are not the same person. You could have Old Man Logan on your team.
Yeah, I did try to keep it. I asked one point. We were trying to just decide all the rules, and I'm using that very loosely here. This is just for fun mostly. But we were trying to decide should alternate versions of characters count?
Well, they fought each other though. I mean, they exist at the same time.
But still, he technically is an alternate version of the character from an alternate future. But
right, well, yeah,
he gets brought in with Secret War stuff. But yeah.
Okay, so
the Jerry Springer team.
I love it. That's good. I like that. All right. So I picked this guy last in our draft on the Council of X, but I loved the pick, and I don't want to lose him because I just think I don't know how you can overcome a team with this amount of characters, and that's multiple man.
Yeah.
Now my team, we're gonna cap this at 8, 9, whatever we're gonna do.
But you're gonna get
I can't be capped. I have multiple infinity guys. So I like that pick a lot.
Nice.
Then for my follow-up pick, again, I have somebody in mind, but I don't know if I want to use it yet.
I love when they use like multiple man for like the stuff where they were using him, where like he was like running around, like running the X Corp and stuff like that, and it's great.
I love when they started like explaining more about how his powers work. So like he
Mhm.
can reabsorb the person and get all of their memories and all the experiences and skills that they've obtained while they were away from him.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
mean, the brain power, that's also something my team maybe didn't have. I mean, Kid Omega's pretty smart, so but now I got it even more. All right, I think I'm gonna go with Kitty.
Oh,
Kitty
Kitty
Pryde.
Pryde.
Kitty Pryde. All right.
I
All
mean,
right. I was wondering when she was going to come off the board.
I mean, obviously there's history there with my guy and her.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, Magic and her always had a good relationship. I think, you know, I think it's
Yeah.
cohesive, and she just brings an element to my team that I don't have, right? So,
I believe if Chris Claremont had his way, they would have had a really good relationship, is what I understand.
there you go.
That was, I mean, I loved reading the Astonishing X-Men run when they brought Colossus and Kitty back together.
Yeah.
That was just amazing. But
Yeah. That was before she became a space bullet.
right. And then they were going to get married, but then she
Yeah.
called it off.
Nice
And
pick.
then Rogue and Gamma got married. So there you go.
Yeah. Our other married couple besides Gene and Scott.
All right. Well, we're going with this powerhouse team here.
Now, just to kind of get some of the chat suggestions involved here. So yeah, Punisher right before the Kitty Pryde pick mentioned that Shadowcat is one of his favorites. Wongton saying, "Hey, somebody needs a tech guy like Forge." Derek has a really good point. Bigby needs Mystique. I mean, like that's gonna round out your team pretty good. And then Comic Tropes is offering the help of Maggot, Marrow, Stacy X, Beak, and Skin. So
I win. There you go. There you go.
hey, what's up, Electra P?
Hey. Let's see. You know what? How many are we drafting? Are we going like 8 or 9?
We were doing 8, but I mean, like,
I'm having
we
fun.
can
Let's
go a little
like
bit extra.
9 or 10.
We probably got time to go to like 10. Yeah.
Yeah, we could. I mean, it's kind of a big team, but hey, I mean, we got lots of great characters that are going to be riding the pine for no reason whatsoever.
Well, you know, like the A team, B team. You know,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, well then I'm gonna go with, so you know, I've already got my little, so we're going with my little combat stealth team there with Psylocke. So yeah, I will take Mystique. Mystique will be a great combat stealth add to the team.
Oh, for sure.
You can hold her own with Wolverine. I mean, come on.
Absolutely. That's a great pick. You got infiltration, stealth. You can have a really hot team in Vulcan.
Yeah, really hot team in Vulcan so
This
far.
is kind of the infiltration and stealth round right now.
Yeah.
Kitty, then Mystique. I think you know what to do here, Bronze.
Clearly, I'm picking Boom Boom. No,
clearly, yeah, clearly it's Nightcrawler to your team, right? For the stealth.
That's a good pick. Teleportation comes in pretty handy.
Domino.
Yeah, Domino is kind of where I was leaning.
Yeah, that's a great one too.
Luck. Let's see here. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I can't. Those luck powers can be OP. I mean, a lot of that comes down to the writing, but I think I have to go with Domino. And then I need some more power on my team. I've got some good energy projection. I've got Rasputin over there holding down kind of everything she does. Iceman and Jean Grey. I need somebody who can really put some power on the field, though. Kind of keep the bad people distracted.
Professor Xavier.
Professor Xavier, yeah, exactly. The person I said I wouldn't draft no matter what. And so I part of me would put Cable on there, but I feel like Cable wouldn't work on the team very well with his parents on the friggin' team, basically.
Oh, the family love. Come on now.
If Hope fell to me and I could do a full Summers team, I would have. That would be different.
Well, you have to take Rachel too, right?
Yeah, Rachel technically still on the board too, of course. But I'm gonna go Gambit just to kind of get another veteran in there. Can do a little bit of stealth, can put down some energy.
You're like team marketing on your team, man. you need
not so
Deadpool
much.
next
I'm
round.
thinking, like, who would be a fun team to read about, right? Like
right.
who could really take on, like, I always thought the X-Men had so many powerful characters they could take on people that were higher levels than they usually did, and that's kind of what I'm trying to put together, I guess. That's fun.
Yeah, and Wonkington picked my next pick, actually.
Nate Gray.
Yeah, X-Man.
X-Man. Okay, so I will need to pull that image, but yeah, for now I'll put Cable there for now, just as a placeholder, but he's not off the board technically.
I mean, that guy's powers are just, he's Cable if he never got the techno virus, right?
Yeah, and I think he got he was in the pits for a while too, wasn't he? In the Age of Apocalypse, before he got, didn't he get freed or something at one point? Maybe I'm mixing up my who got freed.
I'm not sure. I mean, what I'm reading about him, they say he's essentially a god. When you read his power list, it's insane.
Reading card. Did they ever do one?
Well, they say psionic entity, physical reconstitution, possession, psionic manipulation, psionic absorption, astral projection, materialization, psionic armor, psionic weapons, telepathic camouflage, energy manipulation, psychometry, telekinetic. Yeah, it's just insane. Superhuman strength, superhuman speed, healing, time manipulation, reality warping, and immune to reality warping. Oh, and he can teleport. Matter manipulation.
And he's shirtless in this trading card, so there's that.
Hey, well then that fits in right with my, that's team beefcake / hot take.
That's so funny that Awesome Sauce Active asked if Comic Tropes ever did a video on Stacy X. Folks, if you don't know, I think most of you probably do. Comic Tropes is quite the YouTuber in his own regard and does a lot of great videos. But he actually did do a video covering that run of X-Men, which is very much worth watching because that was a bleak time in the X-Men history, at least in my book. Calendar Girls team and Cable, basically, and Vulcan.
Mutant Jesus.
All right.
Is Doctor Strange an X-Men? I don't consider him an X-Men. No.
But you know who was an X-Men and is also an Omega level mutant?
Ooh.
Franklin Richards.
Dang it, that was my next one.
Wait, when was he an X-Men?
I don't know. I just looked up that he was an X-Men.
According to my list of strongest mutants, he has been an X-Man.
Interesting.
Let's see. Yeah,
interesting. I didn't know he was ever one.
Son of Mr. Fantastic Invisible Woman, his powerhouse, and he was powerhouse mutant, and thus has appeared as a member of the X-Men occasionally, despite being more commonly associated with the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, definitely knew he was a mutant. I just didn't realize he'd ever actually.
His X-Men uniform right there.
He's recreated the entire multiverse and turned Celestials into flowers.
So, I mean, in terms of the power scale, I think that guy's quite the pick.
He's literally the character when I was thinking of, like, should Professor Xavier be allowed? He was literally like the guy that I was like, oh, we should probably talk about him too. But I was like, if we're not doing Professor X, then probably aren't doing it.
Well, I mean, X-Man and Franklin are, they're pretty insane.
We're tipping the
we could take them off the board if you want. They're pretty powerful.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm gonna follow that up with Forge.
Nice.
There you go.
Also, it's been upgraded to an Omega level mutant,
right?
And he brings an element to my team that I don't have, and it's another guy with with smarts. So I'm liking that.
Making me regret my Mystique pick. But, you know, I could have cut Franklin and X-Men.
That would have been something else. And Hope.
And Hope. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's because she can mimic and amplify, right?
Yeah.
So she's going to amplify everybody's
That
power.
would be pretty crazy.
That'd be nuts.
Well, going with crazy powered mutants, I'm going to go with M/Penance.
Okay. I'm gonna go grab her real fast.
Because she is nuts as far as powers. So
Nice.
let
Let's go
me
with a
see
little
if I
Marvel
read
snap for her.
There we go. Trying to find her description here. There she is.
No hope for any of you. Actually, Henry, Hope is on Bigby's team.
Yep.
Yeah.
M has superhuman physiology, superhuman strength, superhuman speed, reflexes, durability, night vision, hearing, agility, regeneration, flight, telepathy, telekinesis. She's also life form fused with the creature known as Penance, with red diamond skin and telepathic resistance and razor claws like Wolverine.
Yeah,
crazy.
That's gonna be a crazy powerful team. They all are though. I mean, really. Boy,
Powers, she does energy, or she amplifies mutant abilities and mimics. So she could copy anybody's powers on my team and amplify everybody else's powers.
Hydroslam comes in and says, Beast is thinking another night of hanging upside down and reading, which is funny to me because I was just thinking, crap, 2 OG X-Men have not been drafted and we're going deep into the draft. And spoiler, I'm definitely not drafting one of them next because with everybody on the board here, it's really, really hard not to take somebody who can do some crazy reality type stuff because both of you have those on your team. I'm taking Legion.
There you go. Only yours is a little less mentally stable.
I mean, current he's more stable, but yeah, definitely historically very unstable. And so since I picked some real serious, super powered, crazy being, I'm gonna kind of go with a more fun pick for me. And I'm gonna go Dazzler. Yeah,
she belongs on my team. What are you doing?
Well, you know, you've had plenty of rounds to pick her. Mr. Nate Gray, Vulcan. M's pretty cool. Yeah, you could have went with an all female team if you wanted to.
I could have. I was thinking about it.
No, Nightcrawler's still available too. Yeah. So the main. So just to kind of recap, the characters that are available here that are maybe surprising to some people: Cable, Angel / Archangel, Havoc, Beast, Nightcrawler, Deadpool, Jubilee. Well, maybe that's not surprising. Polaris, X-23 / Wolverine. Those are probably the bigger ones.
Capping it at 10, are we? Because would that be 10 that you just picked? 6?
This
is 10.
This would be the 10.
Going 10, or are we going more than that?
Let's go. We'll kind of fill out the row here, so we got room for
12.
One more round after. We'll come back around again.
Okay. I feel like I said, kid in a candy store. It's like just too many great.
There's still so many good options. The real answer here is 3 X-Men teams probably isn't enough.
Right.
Yeah.
But hey, we're gonna have some stacked teams, especially Big B.
What's that?
I said we're gonna have some stacked teams, especially Big B.
Yeah. Well, you got Colossus. Colossus has the Master of Magnetism. I might as well take the Mistress of Magnetism with Polaris on that name.
Of course. Yeah, you got to grab her.
Right.
I think at this point, Big B's team has every hair color possible for women and men for that matter, including 2 characters that have two-tone white in their hair.
There's a lot of two-tone going on in that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And Mystique, of course, could just go right in there.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna outshine Ryan's two-tone, and I'm gonna pick a 3-tone haired mutant.
Ooh.
The newest, one of the newer X-Men members, Temper.
Temper
From the current adjectiveless X-Men team. She is like, and I don't have any weather, that kind of hot cold kind of stuff going on my team. She's got both. She's basically like Iceman and Pyro or Sunspot mixed together. So I'm gonna go with Temper. She's got a streak of blue and a streak of like orange red in her hair, plus her black hair. So now I have a 3-tone hair character on my team. Since that's important.
Since that's obviously the most important thing.
Well, we're going hair color all the way. That was the most important thing in this round.
And that is officially the first pick that in my 5 seconds of looking, I was not able to find a trading card image of, or like some kind of card, because some of these are like customizable cards.
So
she's brand new, like basically.
Yeah.
So
that brings me to my last pick, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I don't think my friend Mike from Lunch Money Comics would forgive us.
That's true. That's true.
If we left his favorite character, and frankly, he's one of my absolute favorites too.
Yes,
I had Magic already, but who wouldn't want a character who could teleport Apocalypse's eyeballs out of his socket? I'm going with Kurt Wagner, Nightcrawler.
Nice.
You like that when I threw that in the chat the other day, huh?
Yeah. Well, no, I know. It was a good reminder of like that was savage. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love Nightcrawler? I like that. I also, I bookend my my draft with the two of the kindest, loving X-Men as well. The heart and soul, one could say, of the X-Men.
Definitely.
So I'm good with that.
Great point. Bigby's got a tough choice.
2 picks here that I'm weighing the options on.
Since we're not competing, I will say one character I've been contemplating that I didn't end up picking was Sage. Just having read this recent short run of X-Force really shows like how integral to a team she could be. So anyways,
I'll be on Bigby's team. Love it.
Now Bigby, keep in mind that Sydney Sweeney is still available.
No, oh, is she now?
No, just kidding. Just
kidding. Gosh.
Just add Sabretooth. Your team is already going to fight one another. I'm loving reading everybody like in chats team. Like Awesome Sauce says that his team is going to be Kitty Pryde, Juggernaut, Rachel Summers, Beast, Magneto, X-23, and Stacy X and Archangel. That's quite the team right there. I'm loving reading all those.
That's awesome. I'm gonna go. You got Gene and Scott. I'm gonna go with Havoc. So we got Havoc and Polaris.
Okay. Yeah, you got the couple. Nice.
Yeah.
A love connection.
Yeah. Absolutely. Or wait, currently they're like they hate each other's guts, don't they?
Well, they had a love connection.
Yeah, they had a love connection. How's that? Okay.
Former flames, let's say. Why not rekindle things,
Hey, Eddie Von B, what's up? How's it going? Thanks for joining the show. And if there's anybody I missed, by the way, figure drawings in here. Did I miss anybody else? I probably did. We're having such a good time. I'm sorry if I did. Make sure you keep commenting in the chat, and we'll get you Hail Hydra. Indeed. Sure. God, this is tough. So since obviously it doesn't matter, and we're not really competing anyway. Deadpool's really tempting. Jubilee's tempting, just to make the joke of her being Miss Irrelevant at the end of the draft. That would be pretty funny. I'm
I was
kind of
tempted
tempted to
by
take
X-23.
X-23.
I was
Yeah.
really tempted by X-23.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised you didn't take her.
I thought about it. I was like, she fit better on my team, but
Cable is really tempting, but I feel like it's just weird to have him on, because he's such a leader. Having him be on the team would be kind of weird. Sunfire is a really powerful character who's on here,
especially Dad. He's gonna be in his dad's shadow the whole time.
It'd be weird. Like I love when they're partnered up for whatever reason and they have to go take care of something. But it's more
remember that time you abandoned me to a post-apocalyptic future? That was fun times.
Thanksgivings are awkward. I think I'm gonna be a little different than what my gut kind of pulls me to some of those characters I just mentioned. But I think I'm gonna pick for the excellent synergy ability that he could have. I'm gonna pick Sync.
Good.
I just kind of feel like that's gonna be a really well-rounded team there with him on it. So, man, I can't believe that Angel, Beast, Deadpool, Longshot, Jubilee,
X-23.
Yep. Sabretooth, Sunfire,
Prof X.
Yep. Which I was hoping nobody drafted it, but I don't know. Maybe I'm weird about that. I just feel like he doesn't belong. But
I don't know. A lot of when I was reading, he would go join the team psionically, like their his astral form. So
definitely possible. So I know this might be a little small for some people, especially if you're watching your phone. So I'm going to go ahead and recap. I have everybody recap their team. So our guest today, if you don't weren't around from the beginning of the show, it's Ryan, aka Colossus Collector. His link for his channel is in the description. I highly recommend going and follow it if you like X-Men stuff, if you like comic book content. Proud member of the Council of X down there. Ryan, why don't you walk us through your team and tell us who you got?
All right, so I drafted a little bit from my heart, and I would say a lot from my brain, my wanting to build a powerhouse team that had a wide range of skill sets, mutant powers, and abilities. But like I said, I also drafted with my heart. My first pick was maybe not the greatest mutant in the world, although I like to think he is. But he is an absolute stud and a powerhouse. Colossus, Peter Rasputin is my first pick because he's my favorite character. Then I picked the Master of Magnetism, Magneto, Omega level mutant. I followed that up with another Omega level mutant in Kid Omega. Elite Omega level telepath there. I think every team needs one of those. Then I picked the King of Atlantis, Namor, the Submariner, superhuman strength, flight, and obviously all the powers of
recently been elevated to Omega level as well. He has water manipulation.
There you go.
I forgot about that.
Also an Omega level mutant, so that makes 3 so far. Then we've got Magic, Colossus' sister, bringing some family to my team, but she's also incredibly powerful. She's the queen, or I don't know what her exact title is, of ruler of Limbo. She can teleport my whole team at the blink of an eye. She's got her soul sword. I mean, immensely powerful mutant. And then I have multiple man, so I'm the only team that has actually more than everybody else here. Just basically unending numbers to my team, and then also the intellect and being able to absorb memories and everything that we talked about earlier. Kitty Pryde, stealth, invulnerability, and some good relationships on the team as well. Then I have Franklin Richards, Omega level, manipulator of matter, I guess, of existence, pretty much unstoppable mutant
reality
power.
warping.
Reality warping. There you go.
At one point, I think at least Marvel editorial or whatever wanted to try to push it that he was probably the most powerful being.
Short
with
of
a couple exceptions,
one above all, and
exactly. Like the non little g god characters or whatever you want to call it that are out there.
Yeah. so super powerful, almost like not even. Why do we even have a team anymore? Kind of power.
Right.
Then I got Forge, who's also a mega level mutant. I mean, it just doesn't stop with this team. Ability to create any kind of technology. And then I got my heat and my ice from the newest member of the X-Men, Temper, and then rounded it out with the soul of the team, Nightcrawler. Again, teleportation, swashbuckling, sword, hand-to-hand combat, stealth, you name it, and someone who could bring the team together, really.
Yeah.
You know, some extra glue along with Colossus. I really like, and yeah, that's my X-Men team.
Right, Ryan, it's a great team.
Richard, man, roasting me.
So I got a very important question for you, Ryan.
Yeah.
So, and I want you to think about this. Who's leading your team?
It's I would say it's Magneto. He's the
Okay.
most experienced.
I'm sure Namor and Quentin Quire will think that's really awesome.
Well, you know, obviously Namor is definitely the most problematic personality. I mean, Kid Omega too, but you know, I think Kid Omega is showing that he could be part of a team currently, and
for sure.
And you know, Namor, I think Namor respects power, and Magneto has it, and I think together the two of them can kind of coalesce and make things happen. Not to mention, I mean, Franklin can just like step in whenever anybody steps out of line and just be like, "All right, guys."
Ryan's team could definitely have like this moment where like things go so bad it makes for a good story, though, because like Franklin could just as easily screw things up.
Yeah,
or, you know, Quentin Quire or Namor or Magneto, you know, like they could create a situation that they have to get out of that would be a lot of fun to like follow too.
Entertaining personalities, but then I also have some really like level-headed, good people on my team that help, like, you know, keep people together, right?
Totally. You've got some of the like you were saying, the heart and soul characters like Colossus and Nightcrawler, but not only that, Shadowcat is definitely on that list. I think Magic kind of qualifies on that list too, for sure. So yeah, you've got some real like salt of the earth X-Men too.
It's kind of you got some different, definite like synergy. Like I mean, like they had some great storyline stuff with Kitty and Magneto both being Jewish and having that bond. You know, so you got a lot of interesting storyline interconnectivity.
Nice, man. Well, the guest comes up with a fantastic team that's going to whoop some butt for sure if it needs to. Big B, tell us about your lovely team. I want to hear all about it.
Well, Richard said it all. He said that Sydney Sweeney could play like over half of my team. So
he said 8 out of 10, and I'm really
7 out of 10.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking. Well, I think it could be. I think she could definitely play Nate Gray, like for sure.
Okay, for sure. Yeah,
I'm gonna throw that out there.
Shirtless, you're okay with that?
Wait, is Namor Jewish too?
No.
Is that troll? But that's one of those things.
Trolling.
It's one of those things where it's so good because there's a couple characters that they've kind of. Because, am I making this up? Wasn't Spider-Man Jewish too?
No, it's a Thing.
Thing. Okay, yeah, there we go.
They came out. That was just recently. They never really identified what his background was. So
there was some kind of like behind the scenes, like not, I won't say fight, but like kind of debate about what his like religion should be. I think I want to say
right.
Anyhow, let's not let that distract too much from Big B's team here. So yeah, let's walk us through your team, which your team leader is probably pretty obvious, right?
Yeah, it's going to be Storm. We'll do my team leader. I picked her first because of that and her power set, Omega level mutant. Yeah, she's insane. Followed up by Rogue. You got flight, invulnerability, stealing everyone's powers.
Yeah, sweet Southern accent.
Yeah, and then Emma Frost, Mega level telepath. I think it was red. I read that said she's immortal, can turn her body into diamond. And then Vulcan, one of the most powerful, the most powerful Summer's brother. And then Psylocke, also another telepath, and then part of my combat team. Hope being able to amplify and mimic any power of anyone on my team. Mystique being part of that stealth and fighting team there also. So you got your little, A team, B team thing going on there. Nate Gray with his insane list of powers, which by the way, he is immune to reality warping, Franklin. It did say that.
Whoa, apparently Big B team's trying to fight our teams, apparently. I'm learning about it now.
M with, again, her insane list of powers and ability, and then she can turn into a Wolverine type creature with diamond skin. I got 2 diamond skin gals on my team. And then Polaris, Mistress of Magnetism, and some energy projection with Havoc there to go along with Vulcan. So I think pretty good team overall.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I feel like Colossus's team could like hit you over the head with a giant hammer wielded by hundreds of people coming through a teleporting circle and reality warped into wherever you want. And Big B's team is going to in the conflict before it even starts by infiltrating the opposing side and just stopping it before it can even happen with their infiltration, their telepathy, their like just we don't want to come into a fight, but if it does, we can handle it. Yeah, exactly. Like every a lot of strong fighters, for sure. That's a good round team there too. Probably emphasis on the word round. That wasn't intentional, but
many round parts on my team.
I don't even know. I don't know if you guys would even know we exist until Franklin Richards just were there.
That's true.
So,
that's true.
Well, you've got Ilyana too. You could teleport your entire team in.
That's what I'm saying. Our base is located in Limbo. Nobody knows where we're at.
Yeah, that's a good point. So that brings us to our team. My first pick was Jean Grey because I wanted somebody who was an Omega level mutant that is capable of being almost like a cosmic threat too, depending on whether or not the Phoenix Force is in play. Figured she was a good pick for the telekinesis and the telepathy. Why not? Followed it up with Cyclops, my team leader, the OG team leader, and figured why not have 2 of the original X-Men. Even better than that, why not gain a second Omega level mutant, have 3 of the original X-Men, and grab Iceman. Also, I guess you could also say 3 of the original X-Factor lineup.
Right.
Depends on how you look at it. And then somebody has to keep Scott in line. So we have Wolverine back on Cyclops' team, which I'm sure will end well.
Gotta distract Jean Grey a little bit too, right?
Yeah, but at least the issues are going to sell well. We know that. We know where sales numbers are going to be in check. Then we have Juggernaut. He's one of the most fun characters in all of the X-Men comics for me. I always preferred him as a villain. I thought it was a great, just classic big tough guy fight. But at the same time, I like to have that kind of character on my team as well. Rogue was off the board, who would have been my other choice besides Colossus, which I knew I never was going to get. So there we go. Then Rasputin, another powerhouse character capable of doing a lot of damage, holding her own. Picked a newer character too, just to kind of change it up. Domino for the luck abilities, because Deadpool 2 taught me that you should never underestimate Domino.
She was so awesome in that movie.
It was great. I was so disappointed when she couldn't come back for Deadpool 3. Even if, I didn't necessarily need her to be a main character in that movie, but I really would have liked to have seen her. And then Gambit, because
she didn't make it back. Did she not want to? Did she not want to come back, or was she available?
Believe I kind of remember it both ways. I looked into it at one point, and the answer at the time was either that she was unavailable due to filming obligations, but that could have been a rumor because there's also several people that reported that they were just never asked.
Yeah,
and some of those are kind of surprising. Like,
pretty much everybody else from that scene in the party in the apartment. So same with Cable would have been great.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, 100%. And like it would have been like a day or two of filming probably, just to have them there for a couple jokes. Yeah, that's what I thought might be the case, and unfortunately, that's probably one that will go down in history as not the right choice. Sadly, indeed. But hey, we got Domino on my team, so luck is with me in my version of Deadpool and Wolverine. She would have been there. And then Gambit, because another classic, one of my favorite X-Men characters, just somebody who can really stir up the pot. Him and Domino can definitely infiltrate into different situations. So I've got that infiltration thing going on too. Legion, because I wanted
to. I mean, right? So,
yeah,
I mean,
well, 100%. Although his stealth missions tend to end up being not so stealthy. He's kind of like the video game player who's like, I'm doing this stealth, and halfway through the alarms are going off, and he's just killing everybody. Legion, because I wanted another Omega level on my team, and he's a little unstable, but out of the ones that were left, I thought he'd be a good reality warper to compete with these other teams in case they decided to come after me. We all know Cyclops is going to be prepared for that.
You've got Teen who can kind of like keep a lid on Legion if he goes a little
yeah, exactly. She can connect with them at least. Then Dazzler, as another one, a little bit like Gambit, I just thought was a fun character who was still available. I've always liked her. I've always thought she's definitely had her time with the X-Men, but she's been a little underutilized in my opinion in certain points in the history. And then Sync, who I think is really one of the highlights coming out of the Krakoa era stuff, was the Sync and Laura relationship. And I really kind of, that character was introduced during the Phalanx stuff, and I always thought he was a little underutilized or just like underappreciated, and he kind of came into his own. So that's a great point. Comic Tropes, I was going to put it up to the viewers. So
you missed one of the great connections on their team. Juggernaut is a huge fan of Dazzler.
Oh, right. Yeah,
True.
Good point.
Until she attacked him.
Until he actually ended up accidentally killing her. But
most people in the Marvel Universe are fans of Dazzler.
I will say with Bronze, your team is a very classic team.
Yes,
it does have that going for it.
It's mostly characters that are from the golden era of X-Men, and I quite like that.
So we don't have like a vote tabulator thing or anything. It's just kind of like whoever people want to chime in the chat, right? Or
so let's call it. So you're our guest, Ryan. Would you prefer red team, gold team, or blue team?
I think for the sake of colors here, let's just go red team. Me, Bigby, gold team, and Bronze, blue team. That
I totally am fine with that. No complaints with you, Bigby.
No, I'm good.
All right. So Ryan, the top team there is the red team. Bigby is the gold team, and myself, Bronze Age Nerd, I'm going to be the blue team. So go ahead and type in a chat, red, gold, blue, and we'll kind of tally up and see who gets the most responses there. That's so funny. I did that because I was like,
oh, it says the host can post a vote in the live chat.
You can, if you're streaming on the YouTube studio. I don't know how to do that on StreamYard, which is what I'm in.
Gotcha.
I guess I could go open the YouTube studio, but by then people would probably be losing interest. We've already kind of dropped a few viewers.
We're good.
Ooh, man. Ooh.
Richard's voting a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of throwing me off here.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait a second.
I was scrolling up because I saw a couple other older votes, like Hydra Asylum voted gold too. And then I was like, wait a minute. Richard, stop spamming the chat. Come on. And then, sorry. I know Jay was trying to help me out back there.
Brandon goes blue. Well, he's got Cyclops on his logo. He's gonna go blue.
You're all good, Richard. Don't worry about it. We appreciate the engagement.
All good, man. It's all good.
All right. So 2 votes for blue, 2 votes for gold.
Just really excited about the gold team.
It's fair. I mean, I am too. For reasons. I think variant cover sales alone, gold.
I will do very well with the variant covers. That's for sure.
We got a vote for red.
So that's gonna be, huh? Okay.
All right, we'll give it another minute here.
So I would type something, but it will show up as all three. It would show up as both me and Bronze if I type it.
Yeah, I'd have to open the second window. I'm good. I don't need to skew the votes.
I would just I would do the classic thing like we did when we voted for each other.
Voted for each other. You cancel each other out.
Right.
You're all good, Richard. Let's see here. So I guess the only thing I'd say is like between do we want to like vote for another team that's not us? We want to do that?
Well, then
Or is that too competitive then?
Would we then have to vote for Colossus? Oh no, we could vote for each other.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, we can. Hey, what's up, Christina? Welcome to the show. We just finished drafting our fantasy X-Men teams. Big B took that very seriously.
You can go ahead and delete it, honestly. I don't need to vote for myself. I was just trying to help my teammates.
Okay.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, no
It's
love.
still there. I think, well, at least it shows up on my end. It's still there, but yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot more people watching than are voting, so we only have like four votes. So that's all right.
You see a feed of both of your channels together, or do you have to like look at them separate?
Yeah, the feed goes to
3 channels.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it goes to Big B's channel, my channel, and we're streaming over on the EXP network as well. Highly recommend everybody going and subbing up not only our channels that I just mentioned, Big B's channel, my channel, also the EXP, but I do have Ryan, aka Colossus Collector's channel down there in the description as well. And I do highly recommend subbing up him. He's a content creator who I think more people need to be watching. So go give him a follow, everybody. And check out his great content that he has coming up to you, especially if you like X-Men stuff. Not that he only covers X-Men stuff, but hey, let's be honest.
If you haven't seen his intro for the Terrificon video, that is so insane. He took the big fight in Avengers Endgame and he put all of the YouTubers that were there at Terrificon's faces on everybody. It was insane.
Awesome sauce. So there hasn't been any. You know what? I'll take a second to get on a soapbox here. I've seen over the last 2 weeks so many damn rumor casting news articles being shared as like fact. It's insane. People, just because some Twitter person says that something's going to be in a movie doesn't mean it's true. But anyways, no, I haven't heard anything about Anna.
The one that I sent you about the what if, well, that was backed by a site, right?
And I'm not talking about like anything. I'm talking about just like I've seen like literally 100 over the last few days for different characters too, different people. Like
Nev Campbell for Polaris.
Yeah, that's the latest one.
That's I'm like, but like locked in, like it was like it's done.
Well, but that's the thing is it's not locked in.
No, I know.
Yeah, and that's what keeps happening is people keep saying like, oh, it's done. It's like, well, no, like we don't know, like until we see like if like I think was her name on one of the chairs.
No,
for Doomsday.
No,
yeah.
no.
So
think about how many iterations of the Fantastic Four we went through. It's the same thing, right? Like,
yeah,
it was Adam Driver, and it was the guy from Life of Pi, and then it was the guy from You, and it was just like on and on and on.
Yeah,
and then
John
for
Krasinski.
every role, John
Yeah.
Krasinski, yeah, just on and on.
Okay,
Yeah,
another vote
funny.
for Gold Team Collector P. Woo!
There you go. I just wanted to point out real fast that Comic Tropes thinks that we streamed to several questionable adult sites. Hey, those sites aren't questionable; they are verified.
So the post that I was referring to that I forwarded to Bronze was this: they cited that the animated characters were going to appear in the Doomsday movie.
Yeah, there's going to be What If and animated X-Men 97 characters.
Right?
Yeah. Which, like, what if, like, they've already done What If characters have already appeared in comics? I don't know if those comics were technically canon, but I know, like, Kaori from What If appeared in a comic already.
Yeah, Kaori's appeared. So has the Howard the Duck's daughter has appeared.
Yeah.
In books
Yeah.
Too. So,
I just want to know. Oh my god, I forgot her name. That I just ruined my own joke. Madison. I want to know if Madison's going to be in Doomsday. That's what I want to know.
that's going to be the turning point for the whole movie, right?
With 2 N's and a Y, but not where you think. John Krasinski is replacing Pedro. Source: I read it somewhere. Sources are reporting.
I saw that there was a
I think
meme that said,
when you start to hear it in trades is when it's got some smoke to it. Like
Yeah,
if it
right,
comes out in the Hollywood Reporter or any
exactly.
of those
Deadline.
things. There are some
Yeah.
more like reputable rumors, like peddlers, that are they generally have rumors that are legit. Like
Yeah.
it comes from like they're being eyed for the role or they're being interviewed or like auditioning or something like that. But again, until I think it really until it comes out in the trades or an official announcement, it's all
sure.
up in the air.
Well, the hilarious thing I say about that stuff is that, look, some of those things are probably right. It's just good luck figuring out which ones.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah,
X-Men, now that there's like the X-Men, you thought the Fantastic Four was bad. Like now you're dealing with an entire team of characters. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of misinformation for sure.
I've seen like, because no secret, Cyclops just happens to be my favorite character. I've seen like 12 casting confirmations of who's playing Cyclops. Some of them have been great, some of them have been terrible, but none of them have been official, so whatever.
Only two that have really like stuck around is the newest one, the Schwarzenegger guy, and then the one before that was the guy from that Nicole Kidman relationship.
Oh yeah, the baby
right.
girl.
Yeah,
the one I've seen the most of is since the Patrick Schwarzenegger thing. Before that, it was the guy Glenn Powell. That's his name. The guy from the Sydney Sweeney movie. Anyone But You.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Top
yeah.
Gun 2.
Yeah, he's from Top Gun too.
Yeah.
And then he came out though, and he said he had no interest in being in
Right.
any Marvel movie.
I also think that was a little bit of a fan cast as well. That probably just like
They all are
seeped in.
Yeah.
Whereas I would imagine the Schwarzenegger one and the one before probably come from like the studio was looking at them, but like it's by no means is it actually a thing yet type of thing. What I do like about the Schwarzenegger one though is just from if they're looking at potential cast members that are of that age, because he's not quite like the young, like I don't want them to go like super young. With at least the main like the leader shouldn't be 18 in my opinion. Like I want to see a little bit more mature team.
I want to see them in their 20s is kind of what I'm
yeah.
Yeah, like they had what's his name from Stranger Things had posted that apparently he was trying to get the role of Wolverine, but he had posted him with cigar and the Wolverine logo and everything.
Which guy from
the guy who played the lifeguard, or the guy who played he used to get rumor cast,
or the brother. He was the big bad in
Steve
season 2.
Yeah. He was the lifeguard, right?
The lifeguard guy.
The lifeguard, yeah.
That guy for Wolverine, though.
Yeah, he looked actually really good in that pictures.
Oh, maybe
that's been a really common one. But what I was going to say is what's really interesting about this to me is it's always so Patrick Schwarzenegger is kind of in the spotlight right now because of White Lotus was just on, and he was in that.
Yeah.
And then the dude from 1923 that played Spencer, I do not know the actor's name.
Yeah.
When that show was on, people were saying he's gonna be
Cyclops. Awesome though. I would love to see him in a
Those
role.
are all good actors, and they could definitely have roles. Don't get me wrong, but it seems like it's always like it's a little too much coincidental that they have something out at the time, and then people are associating with a project, and
sure. They're kind of hot. They're kind of hot in the news.
Yeah.
Who was that with Harry Potter was rumored to be Wolverine too.
Yeah, for a long time.
That's an old one. That guy, and then the guy from Kingsman.
Yep.
He's
Taron Egerton.
Taron Egerton. Yeah. He's been
my favorite. My actual fan casting for Wolverine, because he's Canadian, is the dude from
Letterkenny.
Yes, Letterkenny. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I think
I have trouble thinking of it because I can't. I've only seen him in Letterkenny, and there's this like very famous Canadian. He was a big hockey broadcast guy, Don Cherry. I don't know if you've ever heard Don Cherry.
Mm-mm.
He's this brash guy that would always do the first intermission segment, and he would say wild, outlandish things. He was a coach in the NHL. Kiso, that's the actor. He did a 2-part movie reenacting him, so I can only ever think of him as that guy or the Letterkenny character, and it's weird thinking of him as Wolverine, but it could work.
Well, people, because he has that accent, that kind of stereotypical Canadian accent or whatever. But if you listen to him in interviews, he actually speaks in a deeper register. Yeah, and that's kind of where that was the one thing, like physicality. If you look at pictures of him, and he had some people kind of did the hair mock-up, or he's had kind of that hairstyle. He could pull it off, but and
he's got the look for sure.
Yeah, and he's Canadian. I think that's I don't know. It doesn't always have to be that way for me, but I think for Wolverine, we deserve a Canadian Wolverine. Is just kind of how I view it now. But
I don't mind that as a fellow Canadian.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much, Christina. So I think votes kind of dried up a little bit. I think I was seeing 3 and 3 for blue and gold, and
still tied.
1 for red. In my heart, I'm putting an extra vote in there for red because it's going to be a crazy team to watch.
I think they're all good. I think they're all good teams.
I'll sign up to watch any of those teams.
I would read all those books.
Yeah.
Oh, good question. And this is Awesome Sauce uses speech to text, so kind of keep that in mind. In what comic book did Howard the Duck's daughter appear? That's a great question.
That was in one of the Marvel Voices, I think.
That was okay. That's the same for, I think, Kaori was in Marvel Voices as well.
Yeah, I think Kaori's appeared in other stuff since then. But I think
a Free Comic Book Day too. I think since then too.
Yep.
So we're at the point in the show where we like to talk about community art. Ryan, are you good on time, or do you need to take off, or are you okay to?
I'm good for a little bit.
Okay. Well, we've got some amazing community artwork this week, so it's really going to be kind of fun to show this off with you here. So I'm going to get that list pulled up of all the fun stuff. Why is that so wrong? What? Oh, it's for next week. There we go.
And Ryan, last year, member of the community art group. So
yeah,
we got to get you in here again, buddy.
I didn't realize. Yeah, I got to sit down and draw again. It's been a long time. But
that's what the whole point of our community art thing is, just to encourage people to draw, and just no matter what your level of drawing is, just get your.
I want to map out a jam piece that I want to start working on too. So
nice.
That's thing I want to do.
That'd be cool. So we have like just a stacked week of community art this week. And by the way, shout out to Colossus Collector, who I think it was your word, so I'm not saying this out of turn. I think you said he kind of stuck around longer than you expected to in that competition.
Oh yeah, I definitely
for sure. And so hopefully we see you in this one. Regular contributor here is CJ Design, who's been turning in just some awesome stuff. This might be my favorite one he's ever turned in. Gunslinger Spawn.
I like the lighting.
Yeah, with the fire lighting and stuff, it's really badass. Very cool. It's very much a mood, right?
Yeah,
for sure. I like that. I feel like I haven't seen that very often either with Gunslinger Spawn, which I mean that's a classic Western trope right there.
Right.
Love it. So good job, CJ Design. This comes to us from Comics Limited, doing several different takes on the Daredevil costumes there. Over the years, we got like armor down there in the bottom. We got the classic yellows. We got the classic red.
For his Whatnot show. He sent those out with every package for his Daredevil themed Whatnot show.
That's awesome. Very cool. Very good job, Travis. Yeah. So that's Comics Limited. This comes to us from maybe still lurking in the chat if he hasn't fallen asleep yet, because he did an awesome live stream earlier. We have Chris, aka Comics Tropes, sending in an amazing Godzilla piece here. This is fantastic work. Very looks like to me like a little -1 Godzilla. Maybe I'm speaking out of school there, but that's kind of what it reminds me of.
Like a little vehicle that the little Japanese kids flew around in. They had to go inside of Gamera to repair him and stuff. That's what that little plane looks like.
It looks like the plane from -1 to me, but
Oh, it could be the plane from -1.
because I think it had that weird like engine on the back thing, right?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
But I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
maybe that was a jet. You don't remember now. Um,
Regardless, beautiful piece of
Colossus
work.
Collector, you're famous, bro. I had no idea. Yeah, very famous, man. And make sure you go give his YouTube a follow if you don't already.
I just told him I'm terrible with like keeping up with likes and commenting on people. I apologize if I don't.
That's a lot of stuff I see on Instagram. I don't necessarily comment or.
I don't know. I just like scroll endlessly, and then
I'm like, oh, that's cool, and I don't always hit the heart, and that's my bad.
Yeah, guilty of that myself.
And the other thing, the bad thing about Instagram is if you hit that heart, you should be able to go back to it. You should be able to look at what.
I'm even worse on YouTube. Like I always I watch lots of stuff, but I forget to like because I do it on I just sit on my TV, right? I have it on my TV, and like I like a lot of stuff on YouTube, but I don't comment because I'm watching TV.
That's what I do too. I run it on my TV.
Yeah.
So I'm usually on my TV and
I watch lots of people's stuff. It's just
yeah.
Ropes, I love that. I love the texturing on Godzilla.
Yeah, this is awesome, by the way.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I know Chris really likes Godzilla quite a bit, so really fun to see him submit this piece. That's cool. Very, very neat. We have Dan Kelly, who has just like Comic Tropes is also, and Comics Limited. They've submitted pieces for Heroes for Heroes. And this is an awesome Batman Hush sketch cover here. Oh, I guess CJ Design has worked with Heroes for Heroes before too. Should mention him. I shouldn't leave anybody out.
Everybody.
Dan's going to be on my channel next
nice
week on Friday.
Cool.
Yeah, looking forward to hanging.
He does
out.
great. He does great art.
Yep.
Good job on this one, Dan. Dominic Gomez coming in with Wolverine. One of my team members right here. Respect.
Really cool.
Gonna zoom in on that a little bit. He's got some great stuff on the texturing on the sides there, but I want to get that figure a little bit closer. Very cool, man. And little skull and crossbones down there. Yeah, I like it. Kind of a
lot of these guys on Instagram and follow them. They've got some great artwork on there.
And I keep threatening to do this, and I will do it. I will start trying to highlight more of this art in some posts and stuff. I've been terrible about posting on Instagram.
I'm always curious about the mediums when the color comes in. If that's like pastels or pencil crayons.
That's a good question.
Very, very cool.
I know Dominic does a lot of digital coloring too, so it might be penciled and then digitally colored too.
Cool.
So,
well, yeah, it looks very like it's even, right? Like there's you don't see a lot of
gradation.
Variation.
Your variation is in the black part of it. I think that's probably like pen and ink and pencil.
Yeah,
and then scanned and then colored on the computer. But
very cool.
I like the lighting on it because it's you know, we don't have a background, but kind of almost like maybe kind of a twilight or midnight kind of lighting almost or something.
Yeah, I like the purple and into the brown. That's nice.
Very neat.
Cool.
But my favorite thing is kind of like those almost like Sam Keith or whatever style kind of ears or whatever people call them.
Exactly. Yeah, I was trying to remember who drew him that way. I think you're right. I think it's more of like a Sam Keith look.
There's actually, we were doing all the trading card things. There was like not the first original Marvel Masterpieces, but like the second Marvel Masterpiece series they did. I don't know. Maybe it was Sienkiewicz. I don't know, but there was some artist that had like a crazy.
Oh yeah, Sienkiewicz has drawn him that way a lot too. Yeah.
Hey Dominic, excellent job on the Wolverine there. Elliot, I ended up with 2 pieces from Elliot this week, so I'm just gonna bump the second one because we try to feature one from somebody a week. I'm gonna bump the second one to next week's show. I freaking love this Darth Vader that Elliot did. That is fantastic.
Super good. Super good.
Heavy breathing intensifies. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Good job on that. Just getting all the reflections on the helmet and everything. That's tough.
Yeah.
Well done.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Good work, Elliot.
Hey, another mutant related character. We got entry here from Erwin Papa, and we got Omega Red. Sweet. Yeah,
that is really sweet.
Perfect for the theme. And I love the just kind of the I don't know, come almost get like a manga kind of face from that. That's just kind of badass. I like that.
Yeah. Is that a sketch card, I wonder?
It almost looks like it. The
Yeah.
bottom's kind of throwing me off. Like maybe he has those as sketch cards, but
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It,
That's
it's
really
like
cool, though.
he's
2.5
got a very
there.
like kind of like frenetic style to this too,
Yeah.
which is really cool.
Yeah, very cool. I like it a lot. I'm always a sucker for any of the X related, characters.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, we all are, Speaking of which, excellent little crossover homage here. Man, there's a lot going on here. This is from Ignacio de Magilio.
Yeah, I think it's a cover for a fanfic thing that he was
Nice.
working on for somebody. See, because he got like Dragon Ball Z crossed over with X-Men.
Yeah, well, these are like the X-Men Legends X-Men, aren't they?
Yeah,
In
it
the
looks
video
like
game?
Yeah. Yep.
Very cool.
That's crazy. Wow. Okay. And then my favorite part of this is the Phoenix behind the
Phoenix is
apocalypse, behind the
beautiful, yeah.
pyramid. That's really good. I love that.
Good night, awesome
Hey.
sauce.
Have a good night. Good luck at your appointment tomorrow. Good work, Ignacio. I mentioned earlier my favorite piece from CJ Design was that Gunslinger Spawn. So far, right? I'm sure by the end of the year I'll have a new favorite. This may be my favorite Philtastic piece I've ever seen.
Yeah. He sent me a bunch of stuff done on the kind of like the scratch board type of deal. And yeah, I'm loving that. Last week he had a Deadpool, same kind of thing.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
This one,
I love the on black with whites. That's such a cool thing.
I like the quote, "Someday with work and hope, the world will change."
It's nice. Love it. Good job, Philtastic. Philtastic Comics and Arts, folks. Go follow him on Instagram at least.
And also YouTube.
Yep. Of course. Yeah. Also on YouTube. I usually say Instagram because I figure most people have their links there, so it's easy to kind of find them there. But yeah, you can search YouTube for a lot of the people that we have here. Hey, what's up, Lyle? How's it going? Thanks for joining us.
Another Canadian brother there for you, Ryan. Lyle.
What's up, Lyle?
Rich Stanke turned this piece in. This is an original piece.
Yeah.
There's kind of just a lot of like cool stuff going on here. Warrior, animalistic.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Very neat. Love. Rich has been just on fire. So thanks for sending that one in, Rich. That's a really great job. And then we have Scott Hasselwood. I love this. Could be a totally good t-shirt right here, like for sure.
I won't say what I said last week, but he's working on some things that he's talking to our friend Dr. Plagueis.
Yeah, there's that ever loving thing.
Yes, that ever loving blue-eyed thing was really cool.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Kilted Corgi? Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. We're just going through some of these awesome community art. We had just a ton of great ones this week. We love seeing them every week, and hey, this is the thing. No matter what level of artist you are, I don't care if you're drawing stick figures. You can send that stuff in, and we'll definitely proudly show it off and talk about you and talk about your art.
Yeah, we'll talk about what we like about it, and always give encouragement.
Absolutely. This is from Side Quest Comics. Side Quest Comics turning in kind of like the old official handbook style here.
So
Ryan has some feedback on this.
Little backstory on this. On my last Council of X a couple weeks ago, we all brought our own ideas for our very original new X-Men characters. And this was one that Eric brought from Side Quest. His Mercury character. It was very, very cool. And
nice.
And he's had this idea since he was like a young guy. So he had all these pictures that he had drawn over the years of Mercury. It was very cool. But this was the most colored and nice artwork that he had. It was very cool.
Yeah,
I like it.
Awesome.
We were looking at the trading cards earlier when we were doing the draft, and the handbook stuff. Like I know Spider-Man did a series of like the official handbook variant covers a while ago. That I'm just such a sucker for the nostalgia of this stuff. Like it's just so cool.
Right.
Love to see it.
Yeah, that's super good. Good job, SideQuest.
Yeah. And then we have an update from a former guest, Madam Blaster, Stephanie. Finished up, or at least made a really good progress on the piece that she's been working on.
I think this is a new one.
I thought we saw like maybe a.
She finished the other one. They actually cast the other one in bronze, but this is a new one. This is an angel that she's working on now.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. It's very cool. Very, very nice work there, Madam.
Yeah, beautiful work. She's such a good artist.
Hey, the Canadians are finding each other in chat. I love it. Love it. And then we got Steve Driscoll coming at us.
Comments.
Can't believe I ate the whole thing.
Yeah.
Gotta zoom in on that a little bit. I know it's kind of cut off there.
I think I'm going to take a bite out of the cactus planet next. Nice.
It's so good. I love the ones that are kind of like cartoon style. So that's the end of this little list. However, give me 1 second here. I got one more one to show off. This will be kind of a little bit different. Hopefully y'all indulge me here. So Big B and I have shown off our own artwork before, and kind of talked about some family stuff too when it comes to art. But hey, we're trying to encourage art with everybody. I'm a proud papa moment here. I want to share some of my daughter's art that she's been drawing that I've been really impressed with.
Nice.
So she got really into Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, this is my daughter Kaylee. She's 6 years old. So she wanted to draw some of the Powerpuff Girls this weekend. And so she drew, I am terrible with their names. I think this is Buttercup. And then she drew Blossom.
Nice.
Or is that Bubbles? I'm terrible with their names. I'll get corrected by her and chat when I show her this later on. But here's the one that kind of impressed me the most out of the three she did. Here's the newer Powerpuff Girl character that come out with, Bliss. She did this, and I just was super happy and proud of her. So I wanted to show this off, and I know she'll be really happy to see this. And it says, "Warning: Bliss is a little dangerous."
Nice.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah. Very fun. So
Love
thanks
it.
for sharing your artwork, everybody. Thanks, Kaylee, for letting me show your artwork. So yeah, I think we're kind of at the part of the show where we should probably talk about what everybody has coming up if they want to plug anything or anything they want to talk about. Ryan, you're our guest. You got anything coming up that you want to tell people about, or anything you put out recently they should go watch, or anything like that?
Yeah. So this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, I will be having another episode of Colossus Spotlight, and it's going to be Colossus Spotlight on Colossus. We're going to be talking with a few guests that are big fellow Colossus fans, and we're just going to geek out about our favorite character. I'll have Bo Newsel from Instagram, Highly Comic Bro, and Dan Kelly art.
Nice.
So
good lineup.
We'll be showing off stuff from our collection, and then just talking about Colossus. So it's going to be a really fun time. And I just mentioned it earlier. A couple weeks ago, we did that Council of X meeting where we showed our favorite or our new character ideas. Everybody presented a different character, and it was a really fun time. Great show, a lot of great creativity. So if you're interested in that, that is up currently on my channel, so you can check that out.
Nice. And remember, Ryan's channel link is down in the description. Colossus Collector. Also, if you like the X-Men draft we did earlier, got a couple of them on his channel. You can go watch one where they did X-Men, and then one where they did kind of a Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. When they're both fun. Definitely highly recommend going and watching those if you enjoyed tonight's stream. So thanks for coming on, Ryan. We really appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Nice. Big B, anything you got coming up that we should be checking out or scoping on the YouTubes or anything?
I'm always doing those goofy shorts, and I got some stuff coming up. I'm going to be talking. I still need to do that update on what's transpired with that small collection that I bought. So have some more updates on that.
Nice.
And I'm actually small, humble, cool update thing going on. But local little shop is going to let me set up a little kiosk with some books for sale. So
yeah,
we'll be talking a little bit about that on there maybe too. So it's going to be fun.
Nice. Shout out to Comic Journey joining us. We're kind of wrapping up the show, but we really appreciate it. Maybe you can check out some of us on the rewatch when we're not live, but hey, you get to see the X-Men draft we did. Shout out to Lyle. I agree. Great guest. We would love to have you back sometime, Ryan, if you're willing to come back on.
Thank you.
Hopefully we treated you well.
Yeah, anytime.
Nice.
He's got to get you on there for the Council of X.
I know it's
you guys usually run Mondays.
It's the Monday thing, the time thing. It's not always Mondays, but it often lands on Monday.
Yeah. But the individual interview you can do at any time, right?
That's true.
Right?
That you usually do like a Council of X when somebody does their talk about their X-Men collection and stuff. You usually pre-record that kind of thing, right? So.
Oh yeah. You mean the collector
chat?
Yeah, with Dan. Yeah, we can do one of those too. Yeah.
There we go.
We do those. Yeah, we do those live too. But that we could do. I mean, whenever you're
for sure.
We'll talk.
Yeah, my people will talk to your people. We'll get it connected. No, that's awesome. Thanks everybody for watching. Just one last reminder, we are streaming on multiple channels right now. Speaking of links in the description below, there's links for Big B's channel. If you want to go give him a sub up, we'd really appreciate it. You can sub up to me if you want down there as well. Plus you can sub up to the EXP. Lots of great comic book content, from sales shows to original art shows to, comic book reviews, industry news, you name it. They have that kind of content on there. And while you're at it, you can definitely make sure you sub up to Colossus Collector.
Don't forget to ask our esteemed producer.
Yeah, that's a good point. Great point. Jay, you're back there. Believe it or not, there's going to be a voice coming over and talking to us right now. This is our producer, Jay, from Hydra Asylum Comics. Hey, Jay, what's going
on? Nothing much. This past Saturday, we had our Hydra hangout. Nope. Ed and I kind of talked about the free comic book day books. We read a bunch of them. Me, last minute, read all of them that day. Hopefully this Saturday, I'm going to have my buddy Scott Wilkie, who's a comic writer for Bad Bug Media. He has this particular series of books he writes. It's called the Periwinkle Saga. It starts out with Periwinkle, then goes into Cupid, then the newest one that just came out, Frost, and then they announced that he's going to have one called O'Hare, which is basically the Easter Bunny and Baby New Year. So hopefully we'll have him. Also, just want to remind everybody, in case you didn't see it today, they dropped a teaser for the trailer. Wednesday, we're supposed to be getting a Superman trailer. Just want to throw that out there. And if they do it like they did the teaser, where it's a premiere, I'm going to try to go live and live react to it then. If not, I'm going to have a reaction to the trailer up anyway. So.
Oh, for sure.
So Comic Journey, you can definitely see what Jay looks like. All you got to do is sub up to Hydra Asylum Comics, where he appears regularly on his own channel. He's also on several of the EXP shows. You'll get to see him. He is actually in my basement, though. That is true. That's true. We do keep him down there. Occasionally we let him come out and see some sunlight, but not too often. He's like remember Supergirl from the Flash movie, where they had to keep her out of the sunlight. We don't want him getting charged up.
Well, we're letting people know this now. We're just letting them know it. I had to hide it. I wasn't allowed to tell anybody that. All right.
I mean, we've let our fun long enough. We got to release you to the world and make sure you can fly on your own.
So Chris, I got to ask you, is your costume for Red Guardian going to show up in time for SummerCon?
It might, yes. Yeah, hopefully it will.
Awesome.
Man, I won't talk about it spoiler wise or whatever, but I did see Thunderbolts this weekend finally, and man, what a fun movie. Maybe next week we can kind of cross that threshold where we may be able to talk about some spoilers at the end of the show.
Watching that movie, I'm like, well, this is a character that Chris or I could cosplay as.
Although I don't want to say too much, but he might be changing his look up a little bit. Maybe we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, we can, OG.
Yeah, I can pay homage to the post Gulag breakout version of Red Guardian. I just got to draw on some tattoos. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. We really had a great time with our guest doing our X-Men fantasy draft. If you're watching on the rewind, or if you want to go ahead and leave a comment after the stream ends, because we'd love to hear about what your perfect X-Men lineup would look like. Let us know in those comments. Also, if you have any topics you want us to cover in a future episode, we'd love to hear about that as well. That would be awesome. For all of our, for Bigby, for our guest Ryan, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us on Best Coast Comics. We'll be back next week at 8 p.m. Pacific time, holding it down from the Best Coast. Have a great night, everybody.